Hey, Tom here, Flip Anything USA. So on my blog, I show how I made my fortune in real estate, starting at 19 years old, millionaire by 28. I've been doing the same thing for a long time and primarily investing in real estate. And I wrote a book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. It's been a bestseller on Amazon and Kindle. And, I've got a mentorship. I show people how I've already had real good success with the testimonials from people that have taken my class just after the first month. Some of them made some really big money. You can see those testimonials on the channel too. But one thing, a lot of the people that follow me ask me if I've ever seen Dan Loke and if I would do something on him. And so I had some time today, and I stumbled upon this video of him, which reminded me of the people who've been asking. And so I thought, it's 7 minutes. 7 minutes. Let's walk through and take a look at Dan, and it might be kind of fun.
How I retired at the age of 27. How I did it, and maybe how you could do it as well. You see, I started very early at a young age, the path of entrepreneurship. I started my first business when I was in high school, just with a couple of buddies, mowing lawns for people in our neighborhoods. That's my very first business. There are 3 things that I did during this time that allows me to retire young and retire rich. So the very first thing is this. I focus on developing what I call high income skills. My high income skills. Skills that allow me to bring value to the marketplace in exchange of money.
So, you know what? So far, I like everything he's got to say. I'm going to speed this up just a little bit. Not a lot. I'm going to bring it up just a little bit. That's one thing I can tell you. One thing I do is I get straight to the point. Always do. Always have. And I watch most videos in high speed because it's efficient. I watch it as fast as I can and understand it and take it in. So I don't think this will be too fast for y'all, but let's just keep going.
Now, I define high income skills as skills that could make me $10,000 or more per month. You see, the first 5 years of my business career, when I was getting started, the first 5 years, I didn't take a single day off. I was working 12 to 14 hours a day, 7 days a week for the first 5 years. While all my friends, they were out there drinking and having parties and chasing girls, I was fucking working.
Okay, now I can totally relate to that myself. I'll tell you right now, that's one thing I did. I was the same thing. I worked every day. I was self-employed. I was a cabinet maker. I had to be. I had to always look for work. When I didn't have work, I was looking for work. So anyways, let's keep going.
I sacrificed. I made a lot of sacrifices. I believe if you don't sacrifice for your dream, then your dream becomes your sacrifice. So I made a decision. I paid the price early on. I spent a few years of my life working on myself, working on my business, doing the things that most people are too lazy to do, not willing to do, so I could have what most people cannot have. The very first high income skill that I developed was copywriting. Now you might wonder what that is. Well, it's simply the skill to use words to sell. That's it. Print persuasion, or persuasion in print. And I was running a one-man advertising agency myself. If you watch the TV show Mad Men, that's kind of what I was doing, without all this smoking and all that bullshit. But I was basically a marketing guy in my early 20s, working with companies, working with entrepreneurs. And I was making $10,000 a month, $12,000 a month in my early 20s. And at the time, I thought it was like, I felt like $1 million. I thought it was the most money I've ever seen. And I did that. Then later on, I took that money, the income that I earned, I put that aside, and I started, quote unquote, a scalable business. Now, if you want to retire early and retire young, one of the most important things that you have to know is noticing and identifying trends. At the time, I went onto the internet. I saw this trend on the internet. We were talking about back then, remember Netscape, dial-up modem. I'm talking about Overture for pay-per-click. Good old days. You watching this young guys, you may or may not even know this, but I'm talking about Yahoo for search engines, okay? Facebook and then later on Google. But I'm talking about that's when I got started back then, early, and I noticed the trend on the internet. And I was importing collectibles from Hong Kong, Bruce Lee collectibles actually, and I was flipping them on eBay. I was doing affiliate marketing. I was doing digital marketing online. I was selling digital products. Before PDF, before all these things were even popular, software, all these things, and that's how my first bucket of money. Then I took that money and I sold some of those businesses, so I cashed out, and I took that money and I invested in real estate. Then
Okay, that's interesting. I'll tell you what, when you are a self-employed person, you become a marketer. You have to be. You learn how to talk to people. You have to make them. You got to get them to like you. You got to get them to pick you over your competition. A lot of times, it's not always just money. So it is, I agree with him. I mean, he made it by marketing, but guess what? Everybody, you got to market yourself. You got to market yourself. It's also relative to you know, even the things that you know, I do in my book. There's some letters and some approaches. Some people are nervous about approaching people, and you know what? You got to get rid of that fear. And you know, you got to step up a little bit. You got to step up. So let's keep watching. I like so far everything he said, to be quite honest.
Investments are able to support my lifestyle, and that's how I retire at the age of 27. But here's one thing I've learned through that experience. At the age of 27, I thought this was my dream. I thought I want to get to a point where I don't have to work anymore. I'll sit on the beach all day, and that is going to be it. And I did that.
So, you know what I want to, before, I don't know if he's going to change gears, go to something else, but listen, real estate is like, to many people, it's just like the great unknown. They're afraid of it. They don't know it. I was lucky enough. I bought my first building when I was 19 years old, and I quickly found out I can buy a property with no credit. I can buy a property owner financed. I didn't need a bank. I can buy it with a very low down payment, and I ran with it, okay? That was the trend that I identified, is that I can make money in real estate, and it didn't matter that I didn't have any credit. Didn't matter that I, you know, that I was young, that I was, you know, you're 19, you start when I was self-employed. Anybody watching that's self-employed knows your name is mud when you're self-employed till you get established. So, anyways, the real estate is super important. In fact, I'm going to put my book up here, and then we can watch the rest of this. But so far, you know what? I thought this guy was going to be a scammer like others, and I don't know. He still might be. I don't know. But we'll keep watching. That's my book, by the way. Listen, for my book, you get my book for $10 or $20 paperback, $10 on Kindle. Most people get the Kindle within, you know, instantly, and then read that, and then they have the book on the way as well. But anyhow, let's keep going. This is interesting to me.
The first month, first 30 days, I was sitting on the beach on English pay, just sitting there every single day, right? Looking at the beach, looking at the ocean. I thought, I have made it. You know what? All I got was sunburn. That's it. You may dream of sitting on the beach every day. I'm telling you, when you could do it, I was bored out of my mind. I thought this.
Okay, I have a very similar story. I got a beach house in Ventura, and I was 28, and I'd sold my cabinet shop because I'd already made $1 million in real estate. And so very much like his story, I was living on my real estate. And so I went down and thought, hey, I'm going to have a blast. And so I got a house under contract and actually got a long term on it. I was going to buy it. I ended up just keeping it for a long time and flipping it and making money on it. But it was the very same experience. So we actually have a parallel path so far. But like he said, because here's the problem: when you're rich and you're young, you still got to, you know, you want a girlfriend, you want somebody to hang out with, right? Or you need a partner. And they got to work. They got to work. They're not rich unless you want to take them under your wing and you say, you know, then that's a big commitment too. And so that was kind of the problem I had, is I was wealthy and I was single and I was, you know, I was self-sufficient and I didn't need anybody. But guess what? I needed some company. And I kind of picked the wrong beach too. It was a high-end beach, you know, I lived across the street from Pat Sajak and some other stars that were in the Santa Barbara series. I'm about 10 years older than him at least. And so, yeah, anyways. But again, you know, money's great. And I can relate to you're bored though. You're too young to retire. That's the problem. You're just way too young to retire. Even right now, as old as I am, I can't retire because I got 2 boys in school still. Till they're out of high school, I'm sticking around the house, right? So we'll keep watching.
This is fucking stupid. I worked so hard to get here, and now I'm sitting on the beach doing nothing. This is dumb. Like, did I work all like this hard and make all that sacrifices for this? Like, come on. Because you got to understand, when you're an entrepreneur, I was going like this every day, go, 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 go. Suddenly, when you have nothing to do, when you cash out, when you have investments, you're like, okay, I guess. What else do you do? Right? After 30 days of that, I was sick and tired of it. I'm like, this is the dumbest thing ever. So the second month, I did something different. I actually thought, you know what, I'm gonna watch some movies. So at the time, I rented a lot of movies. A lot. I was watching 6, 7 movies, the DVDs, stacking them every single day. Let me tell you something.
I watch news.
Don't get me wrong. But when you're watching 6, 7 movies every fucking day, you don't like movies so much anymore, believe me, okay? After 30 days of that, I'm like, this is, again, the dumbest thing ever. I just felt like I was so lazy, I felt like I wasn't doing anything with my life. Then I went to talk to my mentor, and he said, okay, Dan, here's what I want you to do. I want you to start another business. I said, no, I'm not gonna start another business. I was killing myself all these years so I could retire. You don't understand. I'm not gonna work. He said, no, you're gonna start another business. I said, no, I am not gonna start another business. He said, you're gonna start another business. I said, no. But this time, he said, you're gonna start a business from a totally different place, because now you made it. You could start your business coming from a place of strength, coming from a place of abundance, coming from a place of something that you want. What do you want to create? Build it around your strength, build it around your passion. because now money is not an issue. You're not just doing it to make money. What could you do? How could you use all the skills that you've accumulated, you've developed, all the business acumen, all the knowledge that you have? How can you?
I don't know what that's leading up to, but what I did is I wrote a book, and you can get it. Because once, here's the thing. I got to tell you something. When you reach, I far exceeded my standards of living a long time ago, and I could live much grander than I do. But it's just not in me to do that. It's just, I was a kid. I was raised in a trailer park, okay, for a big part of my life. But the thing is what I do relate to what he's saying, or what his mentor is telling him is, or maybe that's where he's going with this, is I just started sharing. I made a YouTube channel about 3 years ago. I got hundreds of videos for free you can watch. And it was because I made it. I was no longer protective of what I knew. I was feeling more free to share it, just feeling more free to share it. And now it's super gratifying because now I got students and I got people that write me that have read my book and tell me the money that they've made, show me pictures of their checks and things like that. And I enjoy that a lot. I enjoy it a lot. And by the way, if you take a mentorship from me, I don't send you a pile of papers because I already know from experience, people that buy a course, if they don't have somebody to train them, like I teach people. I actually teach people in a Zoom meeting every week. I get you through, we do a crash course test in a month. And I focus on you, and I take every question so everybody is up to speed. It's very important to have that kind of a mentor. But anyway, let's get back and watch the rest of what he's going. I'm kind of curious where he's going with this anyways.
You use that to build something great. And I thought, that I could do. So that's my story. That's how I retired at the age of 27. I don't know where you're at in your journey. Maybe you want to retire young, maybe you want to retire at the age of 45, 55, 65. I don't know where you're at. But what I do know is it's possible. And what I also do know is once you get there, there's always another step. There's always another level. So don't wait. Don't feel like you have to get to a point where, hey, you know what? I'm going to spend my whole life doing stuff that I hate so I could get to a point where finally I could do some stuff that I love. No. Enjoy the journey. Success is a journey, not a destination.
You know what? So look, he, like a lot of people here, he didn't get to the point of what he's trying to sell. And I believe he's selling something, but I don't know. People are asking me to check him out because I think it was because he's selling something, what I thought. But I can tell you what, now I can totally relate to Dan Loke in as much as I was wealthy young. I sold my cabinet shop. I was 28. I was wealthy, but my friends were not. And like you said, my friends were out partying. I didn't party that much. I just, when you're working that much, you just can't party that much. And but in the end, what the real problem was for me is I was bored to death, retired. And so what I did is I opened up other companies, and I just continued to build my wealth and bought more buildings and apartment buildings and, just every kind of real estate, big land and developed and rezoned. And I did stuff like that. And then now, here I am. I'm 58 years old. I've been doing it for, hard to believe, 39 years. 39 years. I bought real estate every year for 39 years. We'll have to watch more Dan Loke on another one of his videos because I still don't know exactly what he did. I don't know what that big thing was he was talking about. Maybe he's a public speaker. I don't know. This is the first video I've ever watched of him. I only did it because the students have asked me to. And but that's it. But listen, I'll tell you right now, if you want to learn about making money in real estate, and believe me, real estate to me was always the basis of all wealth. It's the only thing that you can buy with a highly leveraged. You can buy with a very low down payment. The banks are willing to loan you money. It's an asset that appreciates. It's not one that really ever depreciates. It may go in to have some downs here and there, but overall, it's an appreciating asset. And it's the only thing that really is. It's the only thing that really is. And so anyways, look, I got nothing negative to say about Dan yet, at least anyways, but I'm going to watch him. But I totally relate to his story. And look, he's right about find something. My whole thing is you want to make money. If you don't have high net worth skills, what you can do is there's no greater money in anything than buying used. Buy anything used. The reason the power of used is so strong, and this is what I tell people, whether it's a piece of land or a house, used house has the potential to be paid for. You can buy it for less than it's worth. You can make that money. That'll be their delta between what you pay for it and what you sell it for. That is the power of used. And it could be anything. You could buy a computer. If you can buy a $2,000 computer for $500 and sell it for $1,000, they get a good deal. You make $500. And there's used stuff everywhere. Everywhere you can make money on used things. Even if you're a kid and you can't buy real estate, start focusing on buying stuff that's valuable, that you can buy for less than it's worth that you can sell to somebody else, and you'll make a ton of money. So anyways, that's it. Hey, please subscribe. If you like what you hear, subscribe to my channel. You'll learn a lot about real estate, and get my book if you want, or just hang out and watch my videos for free. Look, I've got more than, I don't ever push anybody to spend any money. I got all more than I need, and I'm happy to share what I got with you as far as information goes. So have a good evening.